All right, welcome back, friends. Thank you for tuning in. We have a gem of a video, and we'll be learning several things from it as well. Two officers were called to a store to trespass a man off the property. What we immediately begin to see is these officers demand ID from the man and even threaten to arrest him if he doesn't comply. The manager of the store was obviously determined to get the man trespassed from the store. She even propagates that the man do exactly what the officers say. I'd like to point out that this man absolutely gets a 10 out of 10 in this police encounter. No need to wait till the end to see how this man does. The way he explains the trespassing laws makes this man a professor, not just a protector of his rights. You're going to want to stick around to the end to see how he triumphantly de-escalates an intense encounter and leaves everyone speechless. This is the gold standard of how a police encounter should go, at least from the side of the people. As far as the police go, they get an absolute 0 out of 10. Do not miss the end, folks. The sergeant gets called in. I'm going to drop the links for this man's channel in the description and in the pinned comment. Without further ado, here's your video, folks.
Hi. How are you?
I think you're not retired at the store.
You're going to be receiving a trespass today. You can't come back. They have the right to request that you return to the store.
That he already...
4 times. ID.
She's talking to you. Listen to her.
Okay. So they have a right, it's a private institution, to request that you don't return. And they want to lawful trespass, which means it'll be documented. You're just going to simply say, I'm in contact with you. The manager requests to have you trespass.
Before a trespass, you have to ask me to leave first. Nobody has asked.
No, I have to give you a warning and then tell you.
The owner has to ask, but I haven't done anything.
Okay. In the past, they said you guys didn't see eye to eye. There were some things that happened, I guess.
Yeah,
When they
there
called
was
the
a police report, and the guy almost hit me. And there was a police report about it.
According to him, something was taken
Yes.
in the past.
Not about me, though.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't me.
Are you sure? That was him. Can I get your ID, please? Well, by law, if you don't, I'm going to arrest you.
She has to ask me
Listen
to
to
leave
me.
first.
By law, I'm telling you, give me your ID, else I'm taking you to jail.
The trespass?
Yeah, that's good.
What did I do?
You want to do this the simple way or the hard way? By law, you have to give your ID.
What did I do?
But listen to them.
You have to listen to her. Just do what the cop tells you. I don't know why, but people often get a misconception that you have to listen to everything a police officer says. Police officers are not the law. Let's get that through your thick skulls. Police officers are supposed to enforce law, not feelings.
No,
you gotta listen to them.
I'm just going to simply get your ID and do a document like they asked and tell you you can't come back. And that's it. That's all I'm telling you.
Let me ask you a question. To be formally trespassed first, you have to ask me first to leave. And then if I deny and come back,
No,
then
that's trespassing after warning.
No, that's
Exactly.
statute.
Right.
I'm issuing a trespass.
I know. You have
Listen
to
to
ask
me. I am issuing a trespass, which means I'm not finished. I'm not finished. Let me see. Let me finish. And I will give my supervisor. I'm going to explain to you how a trespass warning has to be. You're not going until you give me your ID.
I'm trying to walk out. I said
You're
I'll
not
wait
going until you give
outside.
me your
But
ID.
you're not even listening to her.
I asked for your supervisor.
Okay, he's gonna tell you the same thing.
I'll wait for you to come.
You're not going into, you need to provide your ID. You're committing a crime right now. You're disobeying a lawful command.
But you have to
You're
ask me to
committing a
leave.
crime right now, and I'm being as patient as possible. Normally, I don't give everybody a warning this
I'm
much.
willing to walk out.
Your ID. Your ID.
Can I please walk out?
Your ID.
I'm asking you.
We're going to walk out together, and you're going to go in handcuffs. That's how we're about to walk out.
Can I have your supervisor?
ID. You can record this on camera.
Can I please have your supervisor?
Yes, you surely can.
I'm not being rude, right?
Reference the trespasser's refusal to provide his ID and walking.
I'm not being rude. I'm not.
You are. You are. And now I'm going to be placing you under arrest. Why? Because you're not obeying my command.
That right there, folks, is a threat of arrest. That is a violation of his civil rights. Police officers should not be allowed to do this, folks. That is a huge problem that's happening today. From sea to shining sea, police officers don't know that you have a First Amendment right. They don't even understand the laws, and they don't understand their own policies.
I'm telling you, I explained to you. Yep. Yep. As soon as he get here, I'm gonna proceed with my decision. Because you're being uncooperative. It's a simple document of, I made contact with Mr. Such and Such. She asked for him to no longer return to the store. And he was issued a formal trespass warning. He was educated that if he comes back, he will be trespassing after warning. Which is what I'm trying to do, right?
I'm totally okay with that.
He's not cooperating though, right?
She's only asking you for an ID, and you're making it more complicated.
Before the ID comes, the owner has to ask me to leave first.
No.
And then she never asked me to leave. I haven't even spoken to her today.
You don't know the law.
You have to give me a chance first, and then if I come back, then you trespass.
That's not how it works.
I know it.
So this man clearly states exactly how the law works, and these law enforcement officers don't know how the law works. How does that work, folks?
Okay, and so do we.
And that's why I asked for your supervisor. I'm not going to do that.
Because you don't understand how the law goes. Sure. Boney, 66, right there.
Thank you. May I have your name and badge number, please?
Huh?
Thank you, sir. I'm trying to be as cooperative.
You're not being
But
cooperative.
nobody's asking me to leave.
You're not being cooperative. Just like you asked me for my ID, my information, I gave it to you. You're not being cooperative. And I just explained exactly how. Yes, no, actually you do. And you're
All right, miss, you no longer want him here, is that correct? So tell him you no longer want him
I
here.
no longer want you here.
Okay, no, wait. Now you still have to provide ID.
Your supervisor's going to tell you.
No, they're not. Listen, this is what we know
I'm trying to be
this.
as cooperative as possible.
No, you're not. You're
That's the
not.
first time she asked me. And then you have to give me a chance to walk out.
We are going to give you a chance to walk out, but all she needs is your ID. You're making it more difficult than what it needs to be.
Ask for it.
Yes, it
No,
is.
it's not, miss.
Listen, she explained to you what the situation was.
Very nice about it.
Okay? And suit yourself. You're the one that's going to make it difficult for yourself. Okay?
I work for a law firm.
Okay.
Go look it up.
I
Go
do
look it
know.
up.
Okay.
Go look it up.
All right, so it's like...
Go look it up. Since you know,
I'm not trying to be...
when we issue a trespass
And I'm
warning,
trying
it
to
has to
walk
be
out.
documented because we're not going to keep track of every single person. So we
Yes.
need to have it documented.
So it's
So
like-
now if you come back, we know, okay, he was given a trespass warning on this date and this time. But you're not being cooperative. So once my supervisor get here, we're going to go forward with my
Are you
decision.
detaining me? Am I being detained?
Yes, you're interfering with my
Am I
investigation.
being detained?
You're being.
Am I being detained?
This is an investigation.
Am I
Yes.
being detained?
And so the supervisor get here? Yes. You want to speak to the supervisor, right?
Request to remain silent.
That's what you want. The supervisor knows. So we're gonna give you the supervisor.
I have trust people in the past for my property. So the way it works is, without your official capacity, if you walk onto my property and you commit a crime, then I can formally ask you to leave. If you refuse, then I can contact the police and say, this person is refusing to leave. Can you please
And I understand
trespass
that.
him?
I understand that. But here's the thing. That's not the
Can you let me-
issue.
can you
No,
let me
wait,
finish,
hear me out,
please?
because this can be all in that.
Let
all
me
of,
finish. Please, let me
listen,
finish.
this could have been all
talking.
avoided.
Please.
No, listen, because
See,
you're making
I'm
it more
trying to be
difficult.
respectful,
We
huh?
could have been done with this long time ago.
Whoa, what's this homegirl's problem? It surely can't be this guy because at the end of the day, he was right. But it leaves me to question, why do these officers have such an attitude? Just last night, I recorded some officers hanging out in a store, not doing anything. Walking around all nonchalant, everything's all fine and dandy. I personally think they were shopping while on duty. But why are cops always acting like they're in a hurry, like they're in a bad mood? This man is correct. He does not have to show his ID. They're threatening to arrest him. They're clapping their hands, yelling.
No, listen, because you're making it more difficult. We could have been done with this long time ago.
It makes absolutely no sense, folks. Who's at fault here? Is it the training officers or the training that they don't get? Is it the chief of police?
Was talking about that was bullshit, and I was saying that's not my fault. That's Herb Dean's fault.
Or is it our fault, people, for not demanding that they follow their procedures and their policies and act like professional police officers out there? Is that too much to ask? I don't want to pay for uniformed thugs with guns, with attitudes, who don't know the laws and are out violating people's rights. I don't want my money going to that.
You're
not
just
willing to give up my
refusing.
rights.
Nobody's asking you to. She's just asking you for your ID. That is it. For her to
And that's
just
a
write
request.
document.
Asking for an ID is a request, not a
It
demand.
doesn't matter.
Yes, it is.
When we have
Asking
to,
for an
when we
ID
have,
and demanding ID.
but when we have to do a report, it's a once.
I'll wait for the supervisor.
Okay.
Conduct an investigation and you refuse now
You
to
have to
interfere
have
with an
reasonable,
investigation.
articulable suspicion.
Yes, I do,
No,
and
you didn't.
he's already advised that you have committed a theft in the past, and he no longer wants you to come here. So now
there documentation?
and it's a documentation where he contacted the police. So now I'm going to also look that up, and I'm also going to proceed with that charge too. But you're making it worse than it needs to be.
You never mentioned a theft before.
I just said,
I've never been charged with one.
did I not just say a few seconds ago that they stated that you possibly stole something in the past and you ran away when the police came?
Possibly.
Did you guys notice how the officer's wording changed? First you stole something, and now it's possibly. That's what happens when officers don't know how to do their job.
They said you did. He did, right?
Hearsay.
It was him?
Yeah, that's
He
him.
ran across the street. So he's been positively identified as the man who committed a theft. 6 months ago.
When I
is that
get this stabbing,
I touched
he
you.
pushed me at a time. Outside. And after I come back again, video and a half. When he called you guy again,
Was I charged
he left
with that?
again.
You ran.
That's hearsay.
You do.
You ran.
You ran.
Yeah, he ran
I
to
don't
the
know
guy.
nothing about that incident.
To the Chevron. He
And he's saying that I pushed him.
What date
There's
was
no
this?
incident number.
I'm gonna. It actually is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run a records and find it. I'm definitely in. Pull up the camera too, please.
It's 1 year and a half. It's not there.
Do you still have it?
That's what I'm saying.
Did you file a police report?
No, I have no
Make a police
recollection.
report.
And I feel targeted.
He make a police report.
I feel so targeted right now. I haven't done a
Long time. A year ago. That's why he remember him. Because he won.
hearsay. You can't have reasonable articulable suspicion that I committed a crime off of hearsay. I'm not trying to give you a hard time.
So, anyway, I don't want you. I just asking you to leave
Respectfully,
this one.
I
not to
will,
come back.
but they're not letting me.
Well, it's up to them. You know, they're
We
the
have to
ones.
do a documentation when they say
I
trespass.
refuse to.
No.
Well, ask the supervisor will say.
Listen, can I explain something to you? Do you mind? Do you
supervisor
mind?
will say.
Okay, so what she's trying to tell. Okay, what she's trying to tell you is that you're completely correct.
Thank
okay,
you.
I'm not saying,
I appreciate
but
it.
listen to me though. There's a process for this. So once after they say in person, okay, we no longer want you here. We now have to document it as a trespass warning, and we let you go. But in order for us to do, hold on. The only way we can do that is by
appreciate you guys.
requesting your ID just to document it, and that's it. And you go on your merry way.
But I just said
That's all it is.
So, okay,
I
so
said that
under
to you
the Penal
multiple
Code of
times.
Florida, in order to provide ID, you have to be lawfully put under arrest.
No,
Yes.
you can be just detained.
What law
Yes, you
firm do you
can.
work
What law firm do you work for?
The supervisor, will,
What law firm
I'm being
do you
very
work for?
respectful for you.
And we are too. I'm trying to explain it
It's
to
the
you.
same
What law
reason
firm
you
do you
can't
work
just
for?
you can't just go up to somebody and
I'm
have your
curious.
ID.
What law firm do you work for?
I don't have to divulge that information.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm being very respectful.
And so are we. I'm just explaining to you our process.
I'm asking you to give me permission to leave, like she asked.
No, because we have to document that you were officially trespassed.
Okay.
And we
to
can't do
be-
that unless we don't know who
to
you
be
are.
officially trespassed. You have to. If I came into your residence, you have to ask me first, man.
They already
sir,
asked.
And I'm trying to leave, and
But
you
it
guys
has
are
to
not
be
letting me because
documented.
she says I'm detained.
It has to be documented.
In order to obtain my ID lawfully for the detainment, I have to stay here after she asked
I
me.
don't understand why you're making me
I know. It's so complicated. Jesus.
It's not dealing of your rights. Don't pull a color card with me. That doesn't matter to me. I don't see color. I don't see color. I don't care what you are as far as your ethnicity.
My
I'm
race-
not judging you
no.
based off your race. I'm simply telling you.
have to work
So if
within your rights.
listen to me, and I'm telling you within the rights of them, you de-escalate. You're making this
Miss,
complicated.
can I talk to you?
So like I stated, now he wants to talk.
Go ahead.
So, when you got here, nobody in the shop,
Do you
the
remember the
customer,
exact date that this happened?
nobody asked me to leave.
Right. And then we clarified that, and I had her do that.
So
That's exactly I do it now.
in order for the trip,
I need the date.
it's all here.
1 year and a half.
I'm not here. Well, I'm not
if
talking about
if
that.
I go onto your property and you say, "Sir, please leave," first you have to give me the chance to leave. If I refuse, then you can do the trespass.
Okay, take yourself.
There was a theft report recorded about a year and a half. And
Give me a second, okay?
ran away.
But now she's fishing.
because I'm inside. They don't know the exact date. They don't.
I don't know how I'm being detained for something you don't know.
Oh, I'm talking about the trespass. I'm not.
It's, you know,
All right, that happens. That happens.
I'm not trying to be difficult. If you would have asked me to leave, I would have walked out.
Hey,
But it's okay,
But nobody asked me.
hey, what's up?
No, porque en la ley,
Tell me that it has to be documented.
in the law, for the police to ask you for your ID, you have to, for them to
If you didn't
demand.
do anything wrong, just give your ID.
No, that's the thing. You give up your
I've been
rights.
what?
You know why? He doesn't want it to be on record that he was formally trespassed. So now if he comes back, he can say, I didn't get a trespass. What you talking about?
Miss, please, I'm talking to her.
I just said that.
So today I need it, okay?
Yeah,
You wanted
so the
formally
way,
It's okay.
That's how you called it in, right?
Listen,
Okay, so because you asked for it to be a formal
Okay,
trespass,
no problem.
it has to
you
be
had to
documented.
give me the
I
chance to
understand.
walk
So
out
as
first.
I
All right,
stated,
thank you.
he feels like trespassing is once I tell you to
It's
leave,
not what I feel,
now
it's what
he
the
needs
law
to walk
is.
out. According to the Florida State statute,
You have to
trespass
ask me to
warning
leave
is a formal
first.
trespass in front of the property owner or
You
anyone
have
who
to ask me
has
first.
power or authority to make a formal decision.
She already said I'm
It will be
correct.
documented.
Yeah, but it has to be documented, and that's where you're refusing to
So,
provide identification.
Okay, in order to, that's not legally reasonable or articulable suspicion to obtain my ID. You can't just say, I need your ID. You have to ask me first, please, sir, can you please leave the property? You have to give me a chance. Once I walk out and I refuse, then that's a crime. Then
Once
you have
come
reasonable
back,
articulable suspicion
if you
to
walk
obtain
out
my
and
ID
you come back,
legally.
The crime is that you're trespassing after warning. Once you leave and you make the decision to leave, because there are plenty of people that decide to leave.
Yes, but I
When
was
you
never
leave,
asked to.
Listen to me. Can I speak, please?
Yes.
This is
We're
exhausting.
about to talk. We're both wrong. Okay? Once you walk out and you decide, okay, I'm gonna leave, and you come back a few months later and decide that you're just gonna take it upon yourself, I'm gonna take my chances and come back. But you were given a trespass. Yes, but how does the officer who respond know that you were given a trespass if it's not documented?
Because she never asked me. She just admitted to you. That was when she asked me.
No,
And
he's
you were
not
supposed to
listening.
give me a
Understand what I'm
chance.
No, he's not. He's not getting it.
He's not catching what I'm
In
saying,
order
right?
to be trespassed, you gotta give the person a chance to
Just
leave.
wait. It's not. You're not understanding the part of it. And it's
understand,
okay.
but it's not
And
lawful.
just for the record, I know you're recording, but so are we.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. Please. And I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not cursing.
I didn't say that.
I'm not doing
Not at all.
nothing. Right now, I'm really standing up for my rights. And I hope you guys who swore an oath to the Constitution oppose it.
Yes,
Please.
we do. And we hope that we have civilians who understand their rights and understand
Yes,
the law
and I
before
do.
they try to go
And a
against it
request for an
end up being
ID
wrong.
and a demand for ID are
Yes.
two totally
I say,
different.
can I have your, didn't I say, can I have
Yes,
your ID?
that's a request.
yes, you did.
That's a request. May I have, can I have? That's a request. And I can formally
What
say
is
no,
he doing to all this?
because I will be giving up my
Okay,
rights. Because
let's
I
go
didn't
ahead.
commit a crime.
Listen, we're going to get the supervisor here.
Thank
You
you.
can talk to the supervisor.
Thank you. I
And we're
appreciate
going
it.
to all continue to have a wonderful, what's today, Wednesday?
Yeah, busy.
And, all right,
That's all I wanna do.
And since you're being
Right
reasonable,
over here.
my name is
just
Andrew.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Andrew.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I just simply want to enjoy the rest of my coffee,
Since you're being
actually.
reasonable.
My
Have a
other
good
question
Wednesday.
is, if you're not willing to provide your ID, would you be willing to provide her your full name and
Full
date
name
of
and date of
birth?
birth, address, and
Okay. So then we're back at square one.
Ma'am,
Okay.
respectfully, I know how it works.
Okay.
Respectfully. I'm not trying to give you a hard time.
Not a problem, Andrew.
Please move your car, you are blocking. Atención, clientes.
I got a 97.9 on my civil service.
Con la color
Good job.
gris, con la placa
I have many family in law enforcement. I have many family who are lawyers. I'm actually standing up for your rights, her rights, everybody else's rights.
Understood. We're trying to help you understand that this is what was requested. I didn't ask to come here. I got sent here.
Yes, it was a request. I know.
And she asked for you to be formally trespassed.
But I have to commit a crime first.
No. If they have a right as a private entity to request for a formal trespass. Just like you have a right as a... What's the example you gave me? When someone is at your house and you ask them to leave and they leave.
If you,
Right?
but once
But
you
then-
ask them,
and they
then
don't
if they
leave.
don't, that's when you could demand the ID and issue the form of trespass. But I was never given that chance.
Just listen to me.
Nobody asked me
Listen
to
to
leave.
me. When you have somebody at your home, so you understand, and you ask them to leave, and they refuse to leave,
There you go.
listen to me. That's now trespassing after warning.
That's trespass.
Yes, it is.
Not legally. You have to give the person a little bit of time to leave. If they refuse, then that's when you can issue the trespass.
Manager, can I get your ID so I can have it back?
Sure, let me go to my office. I'll be back.
Thank you.
I'm really not trying to be disrespectful.
No one said you were. I'm not saying you were at all. It's just that you could have been gone a long time ago if you had just cooperated with her.
I am cooperating.
Nah,
but I'm not willing to give up my rights in order to do it.
Nobody's taking away your rights either.
I'm not saying that you are. I just think your understanding of the trespass is a little skewed. That's all. That's it. And I'm not trying to say that. And I'm not trying to say that as your ability as a law enforcement. Please don't take that disrespect. Because I support law enforcement.
Not at all.
You don't feel like a trespass is suitable for this situation because she didn't tell you to leave. But however, she has a right to request that you are formally trespassed.
Yes, she has the right to ask me to leave.
To have you formally trespass.
She has to ask me first.
Yes, she has the right to formally trespass.
If you own a business, you can't just say, hey, I don't like this guy's skin color, I want him to trespass for my property. Because you don't have no reasonable, articulable suspicion that he did anything wrong.
But she's already saying that he has it. Which is what I said about the you she doesn't have a reason. She just said that you committed a crime
and there was no police officer. Because there's no police report, there's no nothing.
Once I can get to my computer,
It's
I'm going to
hearsay.
go and I'm going to look it up.
But then you didn't have reasonable articulable.
I did, because based on it, it was already
You just admitted on camera right now.
And I'm admitting to you
didn't
that,
have anything,
listen to me.
and that you were going to look to see.
No,
You
I
just
said I'm going to
that.
find the case number. You
No,
said an incident number.
You just said it on camera.
Yes, I did.
You're going to find it, which
The
means
incident number.
you don't have reasonable articulable suspicion now. The man might.
The man just said you committed
That's
a crime.
hearsay.
Okay, Andrew, I'm done having a conversation.
That's
so my
if
supervisor
somebody
here,
said,
please, that's it.
Miss Bonny,
sir, I no longer want to
Miss
speak.
Bonny, the cop shot
Andrew,
someone.
I no longer want to speak.
So
Thank
don't
you.
speak. I'll talk.
Once we are involved and we have to issue a formal trespass warning, we have to document it because in the future, if you come back, we don't know who you are. There's so many calls we go to. How would the next officer know that you were issued a formal trespass? You can say yes, you're going to be respectful and not come back, but there are people who come back later on and think that, okay, they waited out time, so now they can come back, but there is a warning that was already issued to you. So he requested for a supervisor because he doesn't want to give his ID, which I told him, now you're interfering with an investigation, and now you're being uncooperative, and now I'm requesting for your ID because it has to be documented. And here's Mr. He only told us his first name, Andrew.
How you doing, sir? My name is Andrew. So the instance that you're talking about, I have no clue. I was never charged with anything. There's no incident number. Huh? Yeah. I don't know what incident they're talking about. I've been here numerous times. I never even asked to leave today. I was carrying my shopping cart, and the two, they're very respectful. They came and said, oh, we need your ID because we're being trespassed. And I said, well, the owner has to ask. Nobody asked. You have to ask me to leave first. And then if I refuse, then I'm committing a crime. Then you can demand my ID. The request is a formal request. You're just requesting for my ID because you think something happened. It's hearsay. You can't legally demand it. It's a request. I could say no. So at that point, I asked Miss, and she was very respectful. I said, may I have the chance to leave? She said, I'm being detained for this, and I haven't committed a crime. And she asked me to leave. I'm willing to leave, but there's no incident number. There's no, it's all hearsay at this point. And I asked her for a reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime. She couldn't give me any. She said, I'm willing to look into some details on my computer to see what happened. But that's hearsay.
I said to get the incident number since you asked what was the incident number. That's what I was saying.
You don't want him here anymore?
No.
Okay, is there a reason why?
A year ago, he was having some issue with him, and he ran from our store. We called the police because we want to make a police report, you know, for him not to come back. But because he ran, we don't have anything.
Okay.
The police said to him, if you ever see this guy again, give us a call. That's what we did.
So,
And I know what date. What was that? I don't remember that.
I do remember. You remember.
officer,
You
when
remember.
he beat me there, when I tried to stab him, he pushed me over there, he crossed foot over there.
hearsay.
And after a couple weeks, he came back again, he video us. So I called the guy again, and he ran. When he ran again, police tell me, whenever I saw this guy come in, call him again. That's exactly what I do today.
It's all hearsay at this point.
You gotta understand this. Everything is in the front. Now this is a police investigation. Understand? All we need to do, okay, is get your ID. you can provide your name.
Yeah, I gave my name. My name is Andrew.
Okay, so you can provide us with your name, your date of birth, whatever. We can verify it. Okay.
What they're saying is hearsay.
I
They're saying that I said something. That I did something. That you didn't witness, nobody witnessed.
Is that correct?
Am I being detained for that investigation?
Well, right now they're saying yes. You know.
You're saying yes or they're saying yes? Because you're the acting supervisor.
Correct.
So you're detaining me?
They're saying that yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, you're detaining me.
I'm not. First of all, and
Yes, sir.
let's not get into a philosophical.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you
That's
have
what
to
he's
abide by
trying to
the
do.
law, not by hearsay.
Correct.
So by the law,
Let me ask you a question. You just want him gone?
I was willing to walk out.
Okay.
Trespassing also. Give me the trespass so he cannot come back.
He's going to tell you that it doesn't work that way. I have to come back. I
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to her.
You trespass. Go on.
don't have to provide this.
You're absolutely right.
Thank you, sir.
You're absolutely right.
Thank you.
However,
I know that.
if they are asking you not to come back,
I will not come back.
document that.
I will not come back.
Okay? But we need your name.
You can put my first name as Andrew.
Okay. Just tell them you don't want to come
I will
back.
not come back.
I don't want you back here anymore,
Thank you.
okay?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Am I detained? Thank you, miss. And
Okay.
hopefully we learned something today because the
Alright, go ahead.
officer said that it was wrong.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, to document it, you need ID. Have a good day.
Go ahead.
The disconnect with the community.
No, and the disconnect with the civilians. Have a good day. If you see him again, since it's already on body worn camera, I'll
And this brings us to the end of the video, folks. Please hit that thumbs up. Go subscribe to this new channel. Make sure you share this video with everybody you know. They too can learn from this. Seems like we have forgotten the government has a single purpose, the Constitution. We wrote these things down, but we stopped reading it and have forgotten it along the way. We know the lyrics to songs, and we know how many touchdowns Tom Brady threw in his career. But nobody out there seems to know the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, which is one of the most important things that you should have learned since the 5th grade. The single purpose of government is to secure the unalienable rights of the people. The people are the head of government, and if police operate outside the consent of the people, their power is not just. Because a political parasite thinks you must comply and become obedient to law enforcement, we the people must reject their presumed authority. If you stay silent and comply, this becomes your consent. And thus we've seen government rear its ugly head. These police officers are a perfect example of what happens when too many people have complied to too many unlawful orders. The presumed authority has now turned into unbridled power. The rating of these officers is 2 zeros, complete Fs. The sergeant, although he tried his best to allow these officers to do what they do, he ultimately made the decision to let the man go. And even though we don't like to call them sergeants because it's a military term, I like to call them managers. Shout out to Blue at Cannabis Talk 101 for that knowledge. But his job and his role is to be a supervisor or an assistant manager or whatnot. He went out there and did his job, and the man walked away. This man absolutely knew what to say in the face of adversity, folks. I myself took some notes as well. You guys go subscribe to this newer channel. Let them know I sent you. If you guys have any videos that you want to send me like this guy did, send them to recordpolicenow@gmail.com. If you want to stay anonymous, let us know. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.